And we have a video that we can react to that I posted. And the best news is we can talk about it. I can talk about it. It's not like last year. It's not like last year. I played Modern Warfare 4 early. Call of Duty, Activision, and Infinity Ward invited me and a bunch of other creators to get hands-on with Modern Warfare 4, and in today's video, I not only get to share a bunch of news about the new Call of Duty game, I get to share my impressions from my hands-on experience. And my goal by the end of today's video is to rate Modern Warfare 4 from a scale of 1 to 10 based on my experience so far. So stay tuned for that, and before I go super in-depth, here's some major topics to get out of the way. Big picture storyline for Modern Warfare 4 is North Korea invading South Korea, so a lot of the game's setting will be based in Korea. The game will not be released on last gen, so not on PS4, but it will launch on Switch too. There's going to be campaign, multiplayer, and DMZ as the three main modes. Tac Sprint returns and Doors return because it's an Infinity Ward COD, but there is the return of slide canceling and ADSing while sliding. Ninja returns as a perk. There's still a Dead Silence field upgrade, but like I said, Ninja will be a perk. Red dots are on the minimap, thank God. Theater mode returns. Shaders can be completed offline. Campaign can be played offline. The classic perk system returns. The Riot Shield is now a field upgrade and it is destroyable, and weapon prestige is actually featured in Modern Warfare 4. Here in the future, to add a side note while I'm editing, Infinity Ward is also listening to feedback. I have permission to say that 2 months ago, Infinity Ward invited me to their studios for the first time to play an earlier version of Modern Warfare 4. This was with a much smaller group of creators, and we spent, no joke, 12 hours just playing the game and giving feedback. And the best part is, after coming back to play Modern Warfare 4 again, they listened to the feedback. The current game is improved based on the feedback we gave from the first
good, Alex. How you doing?
And I imagine that will only continue improving in the right direction leading up to... Omni is in. Omni movement is not in. Okay, I'm like a little bit nervous because I don't see anybody else posting about this. And I just want to make sure I'm not like freaking breaking some crazy rules. Here's the big things. Here's the big things that we can talk about. Also, let me get the first thing out of the way. I liked the game. I liked the game. I had a lot of fun. The movement, fluid. And the best part is I can answer any questions that you ask. Last year, when we played Black Ops 7 early, the only thing that I could say is that I played it early. Now, I can, like, rules are off the table. I can answer any questions. There's not wall jumping. Omni movement is gone, but the movement feels good. The movement feels good. It's very fluid. No, it's better than MW3 movement. It feels like MW19 mixed with, like, BO6. So, here's what I posted as well. Slide canceling is in the game, and it feels really fluid. Ninja is in the game. It's not... The Dead Silence is there, but so is the Ninja perk. Red dots are, in fact, on the minimap. Okay? Omni movement is not in the game. There are doors and there is tactical sprint. And the mantle, that's one thing that they're super proud about. The mantle is really fast and cancelable. You can B-hop as well. Yeah, you can bunny hop. So, when you mantle up, not only is it really quick... Like, let's say you're hopping on a car. It's really quick. If somebody is at the top, you pull back on your stick and you can mantle back down. You're not, like, locked into the mantle animation anymore. The maps that we played were medium-sized. And I can talk about those, too. Shipment, they have a map that's like Shipment, but I don't know if Shipment officially is. So this is Silkworm. Silkworm was bright and colorful, 3-lane structure. So you have this lane. These are buildings here on this side. A center lane. And then, let's see if I'll show any more of Silkworm. I think at the very beginning I show some Silkworm. Yeah, this is the other lane, building in the middle. And then there's an outer lane on this right side that goes through. So this one is nice. I can see this one being a comp. There is Gunsmith, yes. Visual recoil. So here's one of my favorite updates in regards to the visual recoil is something that I talk about in this video. It's called VFX masking. And so in like Modern Warfare 2, when you're shooting and there's like a shit ton of dust around the weapon, what they do is they mask out the center of where you're aiming. So the gun smoke does not show up there. The gun smoke shows up around the sight, but not inside of it. And they like blur it out so that it's a really smooth transition. So that kind of removes the gun smoke aspect of the visual recoil. There still is like a little bit of camera shake, but you can actually see what you're shooting at, which is nice. Time to kill is a mixture, not as slow as like Black Ops 7, but not as fast as like MW2. It's somewhere in the middle. Can you go over the movement? Is there omni? There's no omni movement, but there is slide canceling. You can like jump and land in a slide, and you can ADS while sliding. The dive is like MW2 and MW3, where you can't shoot while diving. I think I show it in this video here as well. Where do I show it? Here. It's like this dive. This is not the actual one. This is obviously MW2, but that's how the dive looks. From playing, do you think competitively it will be as good as Modern Warfare 3? As Modern Warfare 3, we'll have to see. I mean, we're talking different studios. The maps that I saw, so we can go over some like map flyovers that I have in this video. Silkworm, I feel like will definitely be in comp. It'll be good. Rooftop was one of my favorites. I love the Rooftop. It was like this left lane. You have the center one that goes through. You have this right lane, and then there's actually like an out of the map like crane scaffolding thing that you can walk along. Rooftop was pretty sick. Mumbai was 3-lane-ish. There was one lane here that has a train. You'll see it in a second. This is a train track, and a train will come through. So this is the left lane. The center lane is kind of this area here through the buildings, and then through the right side, you can go through these buildings. Like you can go in the second floor of this, and there's a ramp that goes up on this side. Did the game look amazing visually? The visuals were great. I feel like the maps weren't as vibrant and colorful. I talk about that a little bit as I would want, but I mean, we're talking Infinity Ward, not Treyarch. So I will say the feel of it, like the weapons felt like you were handling real weapons. The feel was great. And this is not hashtag ad. I did get flown out to play MW4, but I'm not like paid for my opinion. I don't have to make this video or anything. I can fully voice my opinion, which is the best part about this. I don't have to say like, oh, I played MW4 and that's it. I can't answer any questions. Lotus was pretty nice. My favorite map that we played was actually called Cachette, and we don't have a flyover of that, so I can explain how the map felt, but I don't have a visual representation of the Cachette map. But we played Search and Destroy on Cachette, and it was a ton of fun. I think Silkworm, Cachette are the top ones right now. Comp and ranked news, I don't think we have any competitive or ranked news. We know that Hardpoint is going to be in the game. Search and Destroy is going to be in the game. Other than that, I don't know if we have official confirmation on third mode. Is there a release date? The release date is, Charlie Intel tweeted it. October 23rd. October 23rd is the official release date. Felt better than BO7 or no? There's just different feels, like Treyarch feel compared to Infinity Ward feel. I will say this is the best feeling Infinity Ward game that we've had movement-wise since, obviously, MW19. Like, it feels like an updated, advanced movement system from MW19. So, okay. When we're talking about Bloom, this is going to be kind of hard to explain, but hear me out. Have they announced or shown any other videos? Like, you think with how much I'm allowed to talk about, they would have an official Call of Duty video somewhere. They've only posted the reveal trailer. That's crazy, and I'm allowed to talk about all this stuff? Okay. I feel like I'm leaking right now. So when you hip fire, you know there's bloom and like hip fire spread in older Call of Duty games. That is not a thing in MW4. So let's say you're hip firing. Spill it. I'm good. I'm trying not to get in trouble, but like you'd think with how much information that we know and are allowed to share, they would have posted something other than the campaign reveal. Like either I just feel like I'm about to get in mad trouble, but I think we're good. I don't know. This is crazy. So if you put a laser on your gun, okay, when you're hip firing it, the laser is pointing at some place on the wall, right? In Modern Warfare 4, if you hip fire, the bullets will go where your gun is pointing, no matter what. It will bounce around when you shoot, and there will be like idle sway while you're hip firing, which is normal. But the visual thing that we're talking about when people say no bloom is that every hip fire shot that you hit will go exactly where your gun is pointing. When playing it, it did feel strong. I don't think it felt OP because there's still recoil. The gun's still moving. We're just talking visually from a visual perspective. It won't look as awkward when you're hip firing because the bullets are going exactly where your gun is pointing. I don't think anybody found a way to break that yet, but it might only be a matter of time. We'll see. I think they're going to keep a close eye on it. Yeah, the less RNG. But my instant thought was that somebody's gonna memorize the hipfire recoil spread and just start like beaming people across the map. Or like if you got a sniper with a laser, you could just no scope snipe somebody across the map because it's aiming wherever the thing is pointing. When's open beta? That has not been announced, and I don't know. I genuinely don't know. Going back to Omni Movement is such a downgrade. It did feel that way at first, Pit, but I'm not gonna lie. After a couple games, I did get used to it. And admittedly, it's not very Modern Warfare. Like, I don't think Omni Movement would be very Modern Warfare. Bob, make me do push-ups mid-reveal? I like that. I did 2 squats. Does that count as 10? I got you pull-ups later. The best part, Aroma, I'm like NDA, everything, like I'm good now. I'm good. I can talk about my honest opinions of the game. And I think it's good. I think there are things that need to be worked on specifically with the maps and the map structure. But when we're talking movement feels great, especially for IW. Movement feels awesome. The gunplay, it feels fantastic. So like MW2 gunplay, but improved in terms of visual recoil and less gun smoke. I do feel like there are some maps that I played that I wasn't a huge fan of, but Silkworm. I really like Silkworm. Silkworm was really good. The one map that I didn't like was called, a map called Sentry. Sentry I didn't like that much. And it was like a building in the middle and then a ton of outskirts, but the building in the middle was very dark and hard to see inside. But when we're talking 3-lane structure, rooftop felt nice. I feel like this can be competitive. It's a little bit cluttered in the middle with these buildings, but left lane, middle lane, right lane, and then Mumbai. You have this street lane, the middle lane, and the right lane. This one could be comp. Lotus, I feel like could be comp. There was one called Sentry that I didn't like. I don't have a flyover. Transit I didn't love, was also didn't have a flyover, but that was very small, like shipment-esque. Those are the only 2 that I didn't like. The rest of them felt pretty good. I'm sure you liked Silkworm. MW3 or MW2? Wait, MW3 with MW2 gunplay. The movement is like more advanced than MW3. Like you can slide to supine. You can do, I think you double tap circle and you slide all the way onto your back. And you have like a boost with your slide too at the cost of like an increased slide to fire time. And when you're laying down, you can still like roll over onto your back like you can in BO6 and BO7. TTK is good. It's faster than like BO6, BO7. But a little bit slower than like MW2. Yeah, semi-omni movement, I guess, but like you're still only allowed to sprint forward. So that aspect of omni movement is not a thing, does not exist. My biggest gripe with the game, when I was writing down all my thoughts for the video, the main thing that came to me was truly the maps and the visuals. Like I said, that Sentry map, when there was that building in the middle and it was very dark, it was hard to see from outside to inside the building. And I think that's one thing that we voiced while we were there, and they're going to work on it too. So visually, I think they're going to make those improvements. We are not doomed. No, here's one thing that I can say as well that I had to double get permission for here. So I was sent out in a very, very small group. Braiders and Attach went to IW like 2.5 months ago. And they showed us a very early version of Modern Warfare 4. And I have permission to say this. Okay, I'm not getting in trouble by doing this. We spent 12 hours playing the game, giving feedback, playing the game, giving feedback. And the version that we played was a lot closer to Modern Warfare 2 in terms of the movement. And the main feedback, at least that I gave, and a little bit that everybody else gave too, was that the movement did feel a little bit clunky. After coming back to play, I guess we were there 2 weeks ago, 1 week ago, they listened to the feedback and the movement felt so nice. And I'm not saying this to take credit for the changes, because we were told that what we were saying was good feedback, but it was feedback that they had heard before. So I'm not like trying to take credit for the changes that they made. They like listened to a lot more people than just my dumbass, but they're listening to feedback and they're actively seeking it out, which is like different from the Infinity Ward that we knew in Modern Warfare 2, right? And one of the things that happened when I first went to the IW HQ, one of the guys that was giving us the tour, when he was showing like posters, the MW2 poster was up, and I won't say his name, but he was like, yeah, I hated that game. I hated that shit. And I was like standing there in Infinity Ward HQ, and I was kind of looking around like, same, like, I think same. I didn't really love that game that much either. Infinity Ward. But like, they're learning from their mistakes and they're actively seeking out feedback. They still have time to like prove themselves, and we haven't seen the official game in action yet, but I think that things are looking promising for the upcoming year of Call of Duty. And the new lead devs, they're a vibe. They're really nice, and they like enjoy Call of Duty, and they're not as like unapologetically like stubborn in their feel for the game. Like I think the last developers were very like, this is going to be a mill sim. There's going to be no red dots on the mini map, and if that pisses you off, then that's too bad. That's how the game's going to be. But this game, like we went, and I was like, you know what? I'm jumping, I'm pressing circle, and I'm not landing in a slide. Or like I'm jumping, ADSing, trying to land in a slide, and that's not working. Or I'm trying to slide and I can't ADS at the same time. That's not working. And it feels clunky. And they said like, we hear you, we understand. And the next time that I came back after the feedback, you're allowed to do that. You can jump, ADS, and land in a slide. You can like ADS while sliding. You can slide cancel. All of these things. Like they're listening, and I think we're in a good spot. I think we're in a good spot. No more dead slide, no. And the guns. I talked about the guns here too. Tac stance, I believe, is a thing. I didn't use any guns that had tac stance, but it's not like MW3 where you're like giving tac stance a default. I have one more comp thing to say after this too. That's really exciting. The Vel 46 is in the game. AK-47 is in the game. M4 in the game. PPSH in the game. The Odin in the game. There's a field upgrade that has a line of smoke. Weapon tuning is not in the game. There's a field upgrade that's a line of smoke, which is sick, and you can shoot through the smoke to reveal it. No pick 10, but it is classic perk system, like perk 1, 2, 3, 5 attachments, dedicated melee. Also, your operators and your kill streaks are on your loadout, your individual loadout, not big picture. So each loadout has 3 kill streaks that you choose, your operator that you choose, stuff like that. MP5, Tony, I don't think so. The build we had maybe like 5 SMGs, and it was like one of them was like a type. You remember the type from Vanguard or World at War, where like it has the side magazine, the magazine out the side. So that type was in the game. There's one called the ISO. That's kind of like the ISO from MW19. The Val 46, which felt really nice. I'm talking SMGs right now. The PPSH, and then one more SMG that I don't really know. They might. I should have asked about MP5. They probably do. Red dot on the map might mean that UAV is always on. No, that means that Pito. Once upon a time, we played a Call of Duty game where if you shot, you didn't show up on the minimap, and that was unfortunately an Infinity War title. But they've learned from that and specifically said that there will be red dots on the minimap. Did they mention anything about the hacker problem? I'm tired of Aroma always hacking. Yeah, I made sure to specifically mention to like hardware ban Aroma. So we're waiting on feedback for that. Bro can't keep getting away with this. No, did not play with the Vaz, but dude, the Vel felt so nice. I was gunning. I can't lie. I had a Juggernaut at one point. The Vel felt really nice. Trials coming back in 2019. Tony, you're gonna love this. There is a parkour mode with targets and a timer, and they have like multiple maps. It kind of looks like Mirror's Edge. You're like on rooftops and shit like that. And I can't believe I'm allowed to freaking talk about this. Does the gunplay feel fast? When I was running around with the sub, it did feel pretty quick. How's the fire range? I did not see the fire range. I don't think it was in the build. It felt strong. It was not like the nerfed aim assist of BO7. Definitely in the game. Okay, let's talk about kill blocks. So, wait, there was one more comp thing I wanted to say. Yes, okay, here. I didn't have a good way to visually, but here's the best way to describe it. The new depth of field update, graphical updates that we need to talk about. Number one is the depth of field. So when you're talking iron sights, and you know how like with this screenshot right here, this freeze frame of the Vel from MW2, the back iron sight is like super bulky, and you can't even, with how it is right now, you can't even see the front part of the iron sight. The new depth of field update blurs out all the bulky back parts of the iron sight, and you can pretty much only see the front. So iron sights were super viable, especially on assault rifles and guns that traditionally would not have good iron sights. That was one of my favorite changes. I didn't feel like I was locked into having to use an optic on anything, and iron sights felt good almost no matter what. Exactly, like front sight focus. That's the best way to describe it, Cram. Thank you for that. So this would not happen in MW4. You would pretty much only see the front iron sight. And so on something like when I was using what ARs did I use? Like one that was like an AK, something like that, like M4. I didn't feel like I had to put on a red dot. Yes, there is Ninja in the game and Dead Silence. And then the last graphical update that I want to talk about is something called Enhanced FOV. And what the reason that they're doing this is normally if you like stretch out your FOV to 120, the sites that you're looking at on the center, like the characters, the player models become like smaller. So people will intentionally run a smaller FOV so that those targets are larger, like they take up more pixels. The enhanced FOV kind of works like you're looking into something that's concave. And so the center will stay the same size, but your like peripheral will have more FOV. So you can see further behind you without reducing the size of the targets in front of you, if that makes sense. So I think as long as aim assist works as intentionally, or aim assist works as it's intended, I think pretty much everybody will be able to rock with 120 FOV with no issue at all. The streaks felt nice. There was one that was like a gunner like passes through and then swaps to the other side, and another gunner passes down. It was kind of like, I think World War II had a streak like that. There was like a bomb drone that you can send out. It's like a hunter killer that you take control over. Obviously UAV, counter UAV, Juggernaut, the like tactical nukes obviously in the game, AC-130 type thing. This is MW2 gameplay right now. I didn't get actual MW4 gameplay. This is what I did for my video. I have like MW4 flyovers, but any talk of content as far for camo grind, I think that I can say that it was confirmed that each mode will have a camo grind and there will be weapon prestige. I don't know if nuke is 30 or 25. I didn't get a chance to drop one yet. I did not see any camos at all. Do they have thermites? Closer to MW19, MW2, or MW3. I would say like visually, it felt closer to like, I mean, this right here just looks a little bit closer to MW2, MW3. Movement wise, closer to MW19, and honestly a hybrid of like MW19 and BO6, like BO7. Movement felt very fluid. It felt really nice. Weapon tuning is not in the game. Did not play Warzone. When is gameplay coming for this? Don't know. And there was something called Gunny, which I talk about in this video. Gunny's like an AI, it's not actual AI, but it like helps you build your loadouts based on your playstyle. You choose like short range, balanced, or long range, and it builds you a gun, or it builds you a loadout for whatever gun you're looking at, with attachments that you already have unlocked. So it's super easy to like build loadouts and stuff like that. Release it, yes, October 23rd. Yes, you can B-hop. That was one thing that I specifically mentioned in the first, in my first playtest that they added to the second one. You can B-hop, but only once, I think, and then it slows down. Gameplay HUD, it felt very like traditional. It didn't feel like out of the ordinary. Do you think it's gonna be better than BO7? I think the like general player base will enjoy this game more than BO7. Yes. But we're kind of at like a COD low, and COD is competing with GTA this year. Tac sprint off for comp. The stamina system is going to be weird. Tac sprint will probably be on for comp, but it was kind of cool when you tac sprint in the game. You can visually see when you're running low on tac sprint because your gun goes from like here, and as you're running, you like slowly bring it down, and that means that you're out of tac sprint. So it wasn't like from here immediately down. Like you can visually see when you're getting closer to your tac sprint being out. There is a ninja perk, yes. Will comp players enjoy it more or less? We'll have to wait and see what the third mode is going to be. I think BO7 and Treyarch CODs are admittedly a little bit better for competitive, but I feel like I can confidently say that Search and Destroy will be more fun in this game than it is in BO7. When we're talking hardpoint, not so sure yet. There's a lot of unknown like spawns and how the hills are going to be set up and stuff like that. So we'll have to wait and see. Yes, Bunny Hop. Aim assist is strong. No, I don't think control was in the game. I'm pretty sure control was not in the game. At least not yet. Squad spawn style, that I'm not sure. Climbing up poles, yep, you can climb up poles. Spawns felt okay. I'm really bad about like having a feel for spawns. I think they were fine, but like, I mean, when you're playtesting, I was focused on so much else, like how the movement was, how the guns felt, how the maps were. I didn't really get a good grasp for like spawns, and we weren't playing a ton of hardpoint. It was like a TDM. This is not MW4 gameplay. This is an MW4 map, but I don't have official gameplay. What game modes did I test? I tested like nothing new. There was one game about, I don't think I'm allowed to talk about that one. I'm gonna let that one be announced at a later date. No, I didn't drop the first nuke. Okay, here, let's talk about kill block though. So one of my favorite parts of the playtest was 10v10 gunfight on a map called Kill Block, and the mindset behind Kill Block is that this soccer field is where I believe they got the idea from, and there's 3 different sections of the map that drop out and will come back up with a new one of 3 section, and the sections are familiar maps. So like Crash is one of them. Shoot House, is that the MW19 map? Shoot House was one of them. And in 10v10 gunfight, that swaps every 2 rounds. So you play around on one side, the map will change Like the actual 3 parts of the map will change. It'll be completely different. Then you'll spawn in on the other side. And that was so much fun, especially playing in a room of like 20 other people. Like it was 10v10, everybody in the same room. Everybody's like standing up and talking trash. And that part was really, really fun. You don't visually see this in the game, at least not yet. But I think that would be something that's cool. But that, yeah, that's how Kill Block works. And that's what we, again, what we played 10v10 gunfight on. It was pretty crazy. All right, I think that's enough. I think that's enough yapping about MW4. Thanks for watching.